Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirisho here, and now, before we do begin, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, we had Deku. Deku began to try and make his way a bit more into Barbara Gordon's personal life. He needs to break into the Oracle's tower. He knows where she lives now. He walked her home after a group therapy session where where people they talked about traumatic experiences in their past that had a lasting impact on them. Barbara, she didn't share this time, but she saw the way Deku talked about his trauma, the way he carried himself. I mean, at the age of 9, he found his mother dead. She OD'd on the couch. He even talked about the police station. He even expressed about growing up in the system. He was beaten to the point where one time he had to go to the hospital because his dad cracked his skull open. I mean, fuck. And he carries himself like a different person. He's not that sad person affected by his trauma. He's not the person who crumbles at the simple idea of what happened. He carries himself strong and heads forwards. And Barbara saw a lot of what happened to her in him. You can tell when he talks about it, it still hurts. He has this expression, but he's getting past it. And he came here because he might have hit a wall. Now, Deku, right now, he's doing a lot. After going on a mission with Lady Shiva, he's gotten back to Gotham. It took him a few days. And whenever he does arrive back, he has a lot of things to do. And we do actually have where Deku, he actually is laying out in his bed. He's actually trying to figure this out. Okay, he has information. Down by the docks in a few days. Chemicals. They'll be delivered and put in the warehouse. Alright. But let's see. The companies themselves. No, it's not going to do the companies. The Joker will want to steal those. No matter what. A shipment would be the largest you can find. But why these chemicals? Okay, if I'm correct, they're mainly used for agriculture. But certain pesticides. No. There's Scarecrow. He's used some pesticides in his toxins, and even Joker's laughing gas. Ugh. That stuff is different too. Wasn't there a pesticide in one at one point? It's hard to tell. Now, Deku he does don't sit there. And there is where he does go to somewhat bring his hand out and grab his phone. Whenever it does go to ring. And Rose, she actually is on the other end of the line. Where Deku, he does get to answer it. Hello? Hey, I had a question. Okay, hi. Sorry. Listen, I'm sort of... Would you be willing to pick up a contract for me? I found a lead on Joker. So is that a no? Where's the contract? It's in Gotham. Okay, let's talk. Alright. The contract's very simple. The target, they're... well, a bit of a business tycoon. He's pissed off some people, and people want him dead. Can you get it done? Someone wants a rich guy dead. Really? Are you saying I can't get it done? Well, I'm not judging your skills, Izuku, but I am judging you by the quality of your work. What can you do to make it look like an accident? Send me over some information and read the paper. Alright. Goodbye. Hang on. What is it? Nothing. I had a question. Batman's philosophy. What do you think of it? I'm a mercenary. Philosophy isn't my major. I understand that. But Rose, you're smart. I need someone else's opinion. I'm crazy, I guess, and my logic makes sense to me, so I need an outsider's perspective. Okay, I'll try to provide what I can. What's the question? Batman's philosophy. No killing. What do you think of it? It isn't always right because there are exceptions. They don't follow the rules. So certain things need to happen. It's like the question nature over nurture. People want to say nurture can win, and those are only the exceptions. When nurture, a good portion of the time, I want to say, it also does win out. You never really know what to expect. So, when it comes back to the question of taking a life, I can justify it if it means I can survive myself, or if people I know will survive. Why? I came to that very conclusion. You did. Yes. Thanks for your opinion. Now, Dakita's gonna hang up the phone, and Rose, she is still a bit confused. He called her smart. Hmm, interesting. Now, Rose does go back to look towards her target, expressing to them, sorry about that. That was a friend of hers. Because they were so nice and considerate and quiet, she'll do this. Her actions are going to bring up a syringe, and going to push down on the lethal dose of anesthesia. Now, Rose does go to finish out her contract, and Deku, he does get to head out in pursuit of the clown. And there is where he does get to get to the warehouse a little early. Him somewhat posing as a, what's the right word? A film location scouter, I guess? And at least trying to talk to a few people about possibly shooting a movie. Yeah, it does get some mixed questions. What's it for? Is it a college project? I mean, they've never really heard about movies down here being filmed. So is it in production or is it already sort of floating around with a name people know? And Deku, yeah, he tries to explain. It's a college film project. He wants to do it for a film festival and he's actually from out of town. He's from over in, what is it, Coast City? So he wants to find a place with a good atmosphere. Coast City's sort of a little more happy, but this place, run it through a gray filter, and it looks like a good old fashioned movie. Now, the people, they do so understand. And Deku, he does get the ability to freely walk around until it actually starts to get a bit more towards sunset. He finds the place that may have the chemicals. He saw the ships unloading things. And he even talked to people about other ideas, other things, and even someone came up to him talking about this one thing. I mean, they want to try and pitch a movie idea to him, sell it off, see if it'll do well. And that's where things get tricky with Deku. He does at least try and take down the person's information and pass it on. However, he does just get to stuff the card into the back of his pocket because he's going to have to turn that out, or, well, throw that out, or turn it into dust with a, well, lighter. Now, Deku, he actually does not go back to his car and hide, as he does go to drive away and suit up. And there is where Deku is going to leave the car in an alleyway before going to swing back to the docks. And it actually is nighttime. And right now, a lot of people, they are curious about what's going on here. Deku, he starts to wait on patrol. He hears about some crime happening. He hears about how, oh, the Scarecrow is up to another scheme, and it needs to be stopped. Or there was Mr. Freeze, and his robbery. He wants to find a way to cure his wife. He still has someone he cares for. He's not going to interfere with Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze isn't on the list. This is going to get boring real fast. That'd be what Deku just think after about 3 hours. and he actually is getting ready to somewhat leave. It's already past midnight, and he hasn't put a bullet into anyone's head. He hasn't gotten anything done tonight. I mean, he's just so fucking bored. And there actually is where some vans do start to pull up. Deku, he does see something exciting. And there is where they do go to pull up nearby the warehouse, and someone does get out. Deku, looking down his scope and seeing somebody run up to a door and go to start cutting the chain locks. And he actually starts to see a few things happen. And we do have where Deku, he does get to head down. As the vehicles, they head inside the warehouse. Now, Deku, he does get to head to the roof. And whenever he does go to take out someone who was searching around for security guards, there was where Deku, he took them down and took their weapon. But there was the way that they were acting. And Deku, he figured out that this wasn't the Joker's crew. However, he can't really let this opportunity slip through his hands. But then again, the vines, the green, the plants. Finding her will be so simple. He just happens to need to threaten to burn down a orchard. That's all he need to do. And should come out stepping forward towards him, willing to fight. Now, Deku, he does currently get to walk through the door. Him going to go down the stairs and fire his gun directly into the air. And Poison Ivy and her brainwashed, well, let's call them servants, they all do so going to turn towards him. And Ivy just going to throw her hands up, right now trying to express to him about how he shouldn't fire off a weapon in here. And Deku, he does going to stand on the catwalk, expressing to Ivy. He wants to know, him turning and leaning against it, with the rifle. Where is Harley Quinn? And Poison Ivy just stare at him. Who are you supposed to be? Red Hood. Nice to meet you. Anyways, where is Harley Quinn? Why? That's my business. She happens to know the clown. And, well, I am willing to implore methods to get her to talk. If you don't. So tell me, do you know where the Joker is? No idea where that clown is. Last time I heard, he was in Arkham. Yeah, that's what I heard last time too. But I have inside information. People are saying he got out. And I'm trying to figure out exactly where out is. Because I kinda can't find it on the GPS. You know? So what? You're some sort of villain? Please. I prefer the term vigilante. But then again, Ivy, I won't interfere here if you can tell me what you know. Ivy confused. And Deku gonna tell her. He wants to kill the clown. He wants to wring his fucking neck or just wipe that goddamn grin off his face. He's had to witness that fucking smile for years. And he's tired of it. If he hears that man laugh one more time, he will pull out all of his teeth and then slice his goddamn vocal cords out. Just so he can't do it anymore. He'll make sure the Joker can never smile again. Either he'll go under the knife, or the knife will go through him. And Poison Ivy, she's a bit more shocked. This guy wants the Joker dead. I mean, her best friend. Yeah. If the Joker dies, she won't be around that crazy lunatic. And Harley, she will be okay. Out of that fucking... What is that, relationship? Yeah, no. No, she wouldn't even call that whatever the fuck that is a relationship. Now, Ivy, she does try to give the Red Hood some information. And Deku, he does gonna honor his word. Him going to somewhat drop the gun and turn, expressing to her, Batman's gonna be here in probably 2 minutes. He'll get him distracted. Nice and good. She can be on her way. Because he does need to mess with the dear old Batman. The two have a long history. They go walking through the door. And Ivy, she's... Huh. Professional courtesy. That's rare. This being where Deku, he does go to walk through the docks. And he does going to go onto the other end. Before he does going to bring his hand down towards his belt and grab something. Him going to start placing it on a few places. Before Batman, right now in the Batmobile, him and Tim, they do arrive nearby the docks. If they head in with the car, it'll be too loud. And right now, Batman and Robin, they do stand there getting ready. As Deku, he does going to bring up his hand. Since he saw those lights in the distance, they may have turned off, but that just tells him one thing. Click, boom. Now, Batman is going to watch one of those warehouses in the distance catch on fire. And him and Tim, they do get to swing in, trying to figure out exactly what may have caused this. And we do actually have a Batman, who, he does go in and figure out what's going on. This has no people around, no vehicles, nobody here, no one inside the building. It's just a chemical fire. This wasn't an accident. Someone caused this. This being where Batman is going to turn. And he does get to hear those vehicles in the distance begin to drive away. Him telling him about what's going on. He's going to get back to the Batmobile. Try and pursue and keep an eye on the fleeing vehicles. Get plate numbers and details. Tim at least expressing that he does got it. Him going to turn and going to swing away. After he does get to shoot out a grappling hook. And Tim, right now, he does try and keep up. He's trying to make sure that he can catch him. Him, right now, swinging through the air with 2 grappling hooks. And making sure that he can keep up. Right now, he's trying his best. He can see the vehicles in the distance. He just needs to latch onto that bridge. And no, it's too big. Or no, it's too high. Now, Tim, he does try to go for it. He's not one for risk. He's not one to try and do stuff like this. But if he can make it, they'll catch him. And Deku, he currently does go to load in a shot, as he does go to aim. And click. Now, the bullet does go flying through the air. And Tim, he does try to go for it. Him swinging up high into the air. And throwing out his hand, blasting out the grappling hook. As the other one in his other hand, it is trying to pull in as fast as it can. The little motor turning over and over very fast. And Tim, he does actually start to fall. His momentary freeze in the air. Done and over with in less than a second. And there is where he does start to feel the line get pulled taut. Him beginning his swing as a bullet flies through the air, it smashing into the line. And Tim just going to look up after hearing the, well, sound. The sound of it just zooming right past, as if it wasn't even there. And Tim, yeah, not good. Right now, him falling. He is in a lot of trouble. If he fails, he is going to be hurt. Very hurt. Him turning his body down and trying to aim up. He needs to look for a surface, look for something. But no, if he fires, him still falling, then he's going to be shot again. They'll take out his other line. But no, the shot. Okay, no, the other warehouse. Right, that's the only angle he could see. But being able to hit through the line. These lines. No. How? Steel cable. It's too... Now, Tim does panic. His mind is going to overdrive. His brain is filled with adrenaline. And he does get saved by the Batman, who does go to bring up his hand and fire out his hook. And Tim, the moment he did go to see the line get smashed into the wall in anger, he shot out his own hook. Him actually being pulled away and smashing down onto the beach. Him being a bit, well, confused and dazed and covered in sand. As Batman, he does try to ask Tim if he's alright, trying to figure out what happened. And Tim is trying to tell Batman it was the steel cable. Someone snapped it. No, they shot it. He doesn't know what it was. But the bullet, it's got to be made of something stronger, right? And Batman, he's impressed. They know how to break his cables. So that does put that list smaller. Now, Bruce, he does try to talk to Tim about what happened. And Ivy, Batman never came after her. And that one warehouse, it blew up. Red Hood, he might be a professional, but he still needs to learn something about standards. Because her opinion on him right now, it was good, but with those chemicals in the air, it's gone down again. Win some, lose some. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.